Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Rosser, Marshall Crossing. "15 years ago, in the year 2000, a cable network news broadcast airing on the Fox News evening every night at 8 p.m. called The O'Reilly Factor jumped into first place in the ratings and has held that first place rating each and every year for 15 consecutive years. An incredible accomplishment. The host, Bill O'Reilly, refers to his show as the no spin zone. All of this is due to two very pure and simple facts. Number one, Bill really does his homework by using impeccable research on every subject, and then he backs it up with irrefutable facts. Number two, he never surrenders his principles. Never ever surrenders his principles. I stand here tonight to point out to every citizen in Upper Makefield Township that we have just experienced 4 years of a no-spin zone, not engineered by Mr. Bill O'Reilly, but engineered by Mr. Larry Breeden. Well, just like Bill O'Reilly, Larry has always done his homework with great research and backed it up with facts. Now, as a sidebar, I happen to personally know that Larry has never, ever let any of his financial findings go to print for public consumption, including any of his cost basis analyses, without first having it thoroughly checked out by at least 2 and sometimes 3 public accountants, CPAs. Also, Larry has never, ever surrendered any of his principles, while at the same time, he's always kept us, the taxpayers, foremost in his thoughts. Larry, the list of your accomplishments in this township is a very long list. If I devoted a couple paragraphs to each one of your accomplishments, I'd be standing here for a long time. And then someone would accuse me of creating a filibuster. Well, I don't want to be accused of being Mr. Filibuster. However, I cannot resist the opportunity to speak out about one of your accomplishments. Let me take everybody back to the year 2010. Larry, that was 2 years before you started your term as supervisor. Now, in the fall of 2010, you recruited me and a few other people to spread the word about attending 2 upcoming budget meetings. And the purpose of that was to present factual information as to why the board wanted to increase our taxes by 22%. No one should ever forget those 2 meetings. This very room was packed, standing room only, with taxpaying citizens shoulder to shoulder. Every bit of space was taken. That wall, this wall, the wall behind me. And I happened to be stationed back in that corner, and I positioned myself near that door and I advised people that there was standing room only. And many people turned around, got in their cars and went home to see the rest of the proceedings on TV. Now, our township, at least in my memory, has never ever had a gathering like that. Now, the results of that meeting were threefold. Number one, the 22% tax increase was defeated and has never, ever been imposed. A huge accomplishment. Number two, it ended a very trying chapter in Upper Makefield history with a postscript that read, pure and simple, mission accomplished. Larry, I'm looking at you and I'm going to say, please remember this. Thousands of taxpayers were and still are happy campers as a result of your hard work. Now, for all of us that know the Breeden family, no one can deny, Larry, that you have one incredible, hardworking, brilliant wife that has helped you in countless ways at every turn of all your work in the township. And I was going to ask you, Barbara, would you please stand and accept another round of applause? Larry, lastly, as one U.S. Air Force veteran to one United States Army veteran, on behalf of thousands of grateful citizens, I want to salute you for your service, not only to our country, but to the absolute outstanding job you have done for this township.
The next speaker is Mr. Molnar.
Dave, you just stole all my thunder. So I'm going to limit my 17 comments to just 2. And I echo his sentiments about Larry, but I have to put a negative note on this. When I first met Larry, he may remember, he may not remember, I have lived in Upper Makefield since 1977. In 1978, I had to move a small tree. You do remember? I didn't know Larry at all, and I was out there digging and yugging and lugging, and over comes Larry. He lives across the street next door, and he, along with your son, came and helped me move the tree. That's the good news. The bad news is, Larry, the tree died, and you owe me $300. As far as, and that is all a true story. I will not go beyond my opinion of your work, and I will echo what Davey said, will not go beyond that. I will have 2 other things quickly. One, I want to give my thank you to the Upper Makefield Board of Supervisors. I know it's a hard job and not always the most rewarding at times. So thank you for your efforts. And I would hope that the new board, with I guess Diana Nolan is not here tonight. The board, as I'm sure you all know, in the press and others, have gained somewhat of a reputation as being 6 jackals fighting over the last rabbit. And I hope that starting fresh, that you will all leave your egos at the door and remember that you are representing us, the citizens and voters of Upper Makefield, and keep things on an even keel and do the best for yourselves and for us all. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mr. Amy.
Vic Amy East Grant. I just want to thank Larry for his service to the community. It's very much appreciated. And I think I particularly want to thank you, Larry, for your never-ending efforts to improve the transparency associated with the conduct of township business. Thank you, Larry.
The next speaker is Mr. Warsham.
Thank you, Board. Thank you, members of the Township. My name is Lud Worsham. I live at 104 Spencer Road. I'm here speaking basically to thank Larry for always seeming to get through with a believable set of facts when my attention needed to be gotten about something that was going on in the township. Whether it was a relayed call, telephone call, that there was an important meeting, supervisor's meeting that I should attend because I would learn something, or it was I thought you'd like to know email. The emails allowed me to pick amongst the supervisors' meetings that I could attend to and those that I could forego so I could go to some of my grandkids' events. For that, you've made my time very much well used. So, I can't add anything to that which has already been said other than my own personal thanks for the hard work you've done. And my observation was, with all of the mud that got slung here over the last 4 years, I don't think you contributed any of that. I want to thank you for being a gentleman. You just did a wonderful job. If I ever get in a position where I am in that kind of a role, you're my example. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mr. Magliageri.
Al Malagiri from Wrightstown Road, and I'm going to join in the chorus to thank Larry for his service to this community. It's meant a lot to me and residents like me who frankly didn't believe our views were being represented on the board prior to his election to that position, so a sincere thank you for that. And also a thank you for you and your wife Barbara for your service to the Republican Party of Upper Makefield, which I really believe has benefited greatly from the energy and activity you brought to the party. So thank you very much, sincerely. That's it.
The next speaker is Mrs. Magliageri.
Pam Malagiri. And Mr. Breeden, I want to thank you also, and thanks to your lovely better half. When you ran for supervisor, you reached out to people, you spoke with people, you listened to people, and when you were elected, you didn't stop, and that means a lot. Most of us who live here are just residents. We raise families, we pay taxes, we vote, we obey the law, and most government bodies don't think we're very important. But you gave back the sense that we count and give me hope that there could still be some meaning to power to the people. Thank you.
The next speaker is Ms. Kelly.
Diana Kelly, Washington Crossing. Larry, 4 years ago, you ran for Upper Makefield supervisor, And you were a dark horse. You ended up in the winner's circle. You really earned that wreath of flowers. You have never compromised your campaign promises. You have kept all of them. Every vote that you have cast since you have been on the board has been in the very best interest of Upper Makefield residents and the township itself. And in your own inimitable way, and this is most important to me, you always told us the truth. Truth is a precious commodity, and we don't get enough of it. No matter how the truth is spoken, it is always worth hearing. It is always welcome. Larry, you have set the bar high. Thank you.
Next speaker is Ms. Lane Novitz.
Good evening. Ellen Lane Novitz, Washington. Thank you very much, Dave.
You're welcome.
Okay. Larry, no elected official has ever kept the residents informed on township matters as you have. I've been here probably longer than most of you are, old, except for you, Larry. And we've never been kept informed on basically anything. It was need-to-know basis, and we, the residents, didn't need to know. I thank you very much for everything that you've done to keep us informed. I understand there's a website. Many residents are not computer savvy or don't own a computer. I thank you for sending us your Breeden blasts, if you'd like to know, your phone calls. You're willing to talk to us, and Barb's willing to talk to us to try and get us to whatever answers we needed. I want to thank you for always going that extra mile for us also, especially when trying to get us tax relief or correcting the taxes that are levied. I do understand why you would not run again, even though many of us have tried to talk you out of it, and we wanted you to run. But please know that the residents of Upper Makefield Township will really miss you. They might not know that they'll miss you now, but they will in the future. I know it wasn't always easy, but thank you very much for your service.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Do we have a motion?
One more public comment. Sorry, I arrived late. And this is the last meeting of Larry Breeden. And for a lot of people out there, they're probably going, thank God. And if they are thinking that, that's a shame. Because Larry never compromised. Never compromised. And when you're shooting for transparency and you're trying to be transparent and you're going for the truth, it's not easy. It's a struggle. It's a fight. And Larry fought for that every time, every meeting, every time something came up. And as someone else said, he always got the information out there to us and set a really high bar. And people are sort of acting like this is the end, but I really feel that this is the beginning. I think it's the beginning of a time for this township to heal, to come together. And we're going to miss Larry. A lot of us are really going to miss Larry. But the example he set and his uncompromising when it came to what he said before he was elected, and that was to be transparent, to inform every resident. I mean, it's just really, it's a stellar example that you've set. And I hope that the new incoming board member can do the same. And thank you. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are really, really going to miss you. But as I said, I don't think it's the end. I think it's the beginning, because I have a feeling that Larry Breeden is going to be out there keeping us on our toes. Thank you, Larry.
I think I've moved mine
have an opportunity to sign in, so I'd like to take the opportunity to echo what everyone else has said and say something different. What many of you will not be aware of, I'm sure, is that there is a bit of humility on Larry's part, because when he was running for office, hadn't yet been on the Board of Supervisors, he was out there helping people in the community when we had a tremendous hurricane hit the area. And one of the things that I'm aware of that he did was make sure that one of his neighbors, and one he didn't know, but word got to him because he put himself out there and said, if you need help, let me know. And someone reached out to him who didn't have the electricity because power was down, and he was able to get her medicine to a place that where there was refrigeration, because it did need that. And then he was out there shopping for a pump for the basement for somebody else who was having a significant flood in that basement. So there are a lot of things that Larry has done that I'm sure the board is not even aware of that was very positive and, in essence, really represented a good candidate for the Board of Supervisors. And I'd also like to mention a couple of other things, is that there was a bit of humor with regard to, again, Larry, the best as you move forward. Thank you.
So in conclusion of this public comment section on the agenda, Supervisor Breeden has asked for a moment to address the crowd. Larry?
I'm humbled by your comments. It's heartfelt, and I appreciate it very much. And since this is the last Board of Supervisors meeting for the year, and this is the last meeting that I will be attending as a sitting supervisor, I want to take the opportunity to reflect for a moment and to thank those who have been supportive of me and my efforts to serve you. There have been so many of you who over the years, past 4 years, have approached me to voice support for my efforts, and it would be impossible to name all in this short period of time. None of my efforts would have been possible without the support of my wife, who has been my equal partner since we first met in 1962 and were married in 1963. Over 53 years. Han, I don't know how you did it. I simply don't know how you've done it. There's a cadre of individuals who have been particularly supportive, without whom many of the initiatives that have occurred would never have happened. At the risk of slighting some, I will name some of them. Guy and Amy Pohamus, been very instrumental. Dave and Dodie Rosser, Vic and Jean Amy, Mike Tierney, Diana Kelly, Ellen Lane, and all the other people who have been very supportive of me. I thank you very much. Life is comprised of moments, moments of joy, the joy of accomplishing a goal, moments of disappointment when a worthwhile objective is rejected, bittersweet moments, such as this moment when the reality of serving you in an official capacity as supervisor has come to an end. Again, thank you for the opportunity you've presented to me to serve you these past 4 years. But you can rest assured that I will exercise my duties as an elected township auditor to the extent that the second-class township code will allow.